Today's class, I want to speak about the Spanish preposition en, okay? Spanish preposition en would be the equivalent to the English prepositions in, at, and on, alright? So, it would be what in Spanish we would call comodín. Comodín is when you are playing cards, right? You have those special cards which are the jokers, which can take the place of any card, right? So in Spanish, the joker in the playing cards, you call it comodín, and these words that fit in so many situations, they are called comodines, right? And I think because of this, it can be a little bit easier for English speakers who are learning Spanish than from Spanish speakers who are learning English, because Spanish speakers, they usually struggle on how or when you have to use either of these three prepositions. So a typical sentence would be, I'm at the beach. A Spanish speaker would say, I'm in the beach, right? Because the preposition en, which typically translates as in Spanish you use it for everything almost, okay? So you would say, I'm in the beach, or the picture or the painting is in the wall instead of on the wall, alright? But for English speakers learning Spanish, this would be a bit easier because you can use en for so many cases. Let's see a few. El agua está en la mesa. El agua está en la mesa. For the water is on the table, right? So here, en would be the equivalent to on, alright? La profesora está en el baño. For the teacher is in the bathroom. Okay? Okay. First you can say, oh, profesora would translate as professor. Alright? However, in Spanish, profesor usually is teacher also, right? In English, professor is more like for something for university academia, right? In Spanish, profesor is also for school. Right, elementary school, middle school. That's why we usually translate profesor or profesora as teacher, alright? The word maestro is more used for just primary school or low elementary school, right? And profesor is for a bit higher. So, la profesora está en el baño. The teacher is in the bathroom. Okay? So here, en for in. Right? Mi hermano está, I missed the accent mark, the tilde, en la playa. Mi hermano está en la playa, for my brother is at the beach. Alright? Now you see that here we have used the preposition en for in, like in here, for at, or for on. Okay? So you can see how flexible this preposition is. Alright? El cuadro está en la pared. For the painting is on the wall. The painting, el cuadro, está en la pared. Okay? So again, in English it would be very awkward to say that the painting is in the wall. You say on the wall. In Spanish we use this comodín preposition. You can also say it using a more specific preposition, sobre, right? El cuadro está sobre la pared. Sobre you use when something is laying against something, okay? You can say something is on the table, you can say sobre la mesa because it's laying on the table, or you can say sobre la pared because it's laying on the wall, okay? So, el cuadro está sobre la mesa. So, sobre is alright, but en, which is more generic, is equally alright, and actually it is even more commonly used in Spanish. El libro está en la mesa, for the book is on the table. El libro está en la mesa. Now, let's use a different preposition for the same sentence. El libro está encima de la mesa. El libro está encima de la mesa. Encima de means on top of, okay? So it's like saying the book is on the table or the book is on top of the table, okay? Same thing, same meaning. Both are correct. So you can use a more specific one or the more generic one, en. Alright? So when in doubt, you just use en because it's more generic. Now, if I change the preposition, look at this. El libro está dentro de la mesa. El libro está dentro de la mesa. Now we are saying the book is inside the table or the book is in the table. Okay? Which would make no sense unless there is a drawer in the table and we can keep a book inside the drawer that is in the table. Okay? So now that we mentioned this preposition dentro, which means in or inside, right, or even indoors, I want to differentiate with the other preposition, this one adentro, which is the same but it carries the preposition a at the beginning of the word, okay? A means to, like when we say voy a la biblioteca, I am going to the library, okay? So if we say adentro, we mean to the inside or to inside, okay? So when do we use dentro and when do we use adentro? This is something that even a lot of native Spanish speakers, they fail to use the right preposition because they don't know the difference between dentro and adentro. So dentro means inside, but it's static. While adentro, it means inside, but it is active. Alright? Example. I want to say, the book is in the box. Right? So it's in the box, it's static, alright? But if I want to say, I am going inside, okay? I'm here and I'm going inside, I'm going somewhere else. So that is active, right? So when we want to say something that is changing its position, okay, that it's active, that it's going to the inside of something, either a box or the house or whatever, then we use adentro, okay? While dentro without the preposition a at the beginning is simply inside, static. Like here, el libro está dentro de la mesa. The book is in the table. Alright? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment in the channel. And I usually try to answer every question that the students post there. Have a nice day. See you next class.